Hey, what's happening? I'm calling into Doug Benson's new podcast, Wide World of Doug's. This episode of the Opie Radio Podcast, sponsored by expressvpn.com/Opie, O-P-I-E. Access content from around the world with expressvpn.com/Opie. Use that link and you'll get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. All right, let's do it. Can you hear me now?
What the heck happened?
What the hell's going on? Hold on.
No.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
How's that?
Hey, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, what's up, man?
Do you have like a real professional setup? You have like headphones and the whole deal?
Yeah, I got the headphones on. I got a professional microphone.
Yeah, those are always people they always sound the shittiest.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding. That's the other laugh you heard. That's my friend Doug Mellard. We call the Wide World of Doug's.
Okay.
Judy, you still there?
No, I left because this is so fucking boring.
It's really
I took my Ritalin today, so I'm fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Get ready. The theme song is quite loud.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Wide World of Doug's with an extremely aggressive theme song.
That is catchy. That is catchy. Wow.
Yeah, you're going to be humming it later, you think?
Yeah. Catchy!
Oh my God. I'm awake now.
I don't even know what they're saying, and I don't even know what the lyrics are. I just know that I think they're saying Wide World of Doug's.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
That's Opie and Judy.
Hi, Opie.
Hi, Judy Gold, who wrote an amazing book.
Oh, Opie, I love you.
It's an amazing book, and everyone should read it. I don't read many books, but I read Judy Gold's book.
I have to say, Opie literally texted me like, "Oh my God," and both of my kids had COVID, and I couldn't write back because I lost track of everything. And I just want to say how much I appreciate that, Opie.
Oh, okay, we had an awkward moment because she told me about her book. I read it in a day and a half, and I'm thinking, oh well, now we need to podcast. So I said, when are we going to podcast? And then I don't hear from Judy for like 2 or 3 days. So then the angry Ope came out, and I was like, Judy, what the fuck, man? I thought we were going to podcast and talk about this wonderful book you wrote. And then she hits me with, both my kids have COVID.
Both kids, my ex's wife, my son's girlfriend, and my son's 2 best friends.
Yeah.
And they were quarantining in my apartment. It was hell.
Yeah.
So I do want a podcast, Opie.
All right. But then it was so uncomfortable because then I'm thinking to myself, did she just blow me off and now she's using her kids as an excuse? No, I know now, Judy. I'm just saying because that's how we all think because we're all paranoid sons of bitches.
I know. But I'm brutally honest. So.
Yeah.
And then the Dougs bring you together to clear out your grievances.
I like that. You do know that me and Judy Gold have nothing to do with the name Doug, so why are we on this podcast?
Yeah, that's right. It's all Doug shit, right?
Yeah, I don't know any Dougs. I hate the name.
I knew I had one Doug I grew up with. That's it. Doug,
okay.
Doug is a weird name.
All right, well, thanks for coming by, you guys. We've got more experts on the name Doug standing by.
Well, my real name's
Fuck
Greg.
you guys, fuck Dougs.
Well, I was going to say my real name's Greg, and the only name I hate more is Doug.
Right?
Is that true?
Yeah.
I can see Opie. It makes perfect sense you ending up with the nickname Opie because you just don't seem like a Greg.
And I'm not an Opie either, so I'm trying to think of a third name actually because I'm too old to be named Opie, and I never liked my original name.
Okay, I have a question. If you were having a child today, what is the percentage that you would name your kid Doug?
It must be crazy low. I mean,
Right.
I know I wouldn't. It just doesn't seem like a popular name anymore.
Like, there's no Doug the Second. That's ridiculous.
Right. It's like Douglas.
Well, Douglas isn't as bad as Doug. I mean,
but nobody goes by Douglas.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my mom at least was smart enough not to call me Gregory because that's even worse than Greg and even worse than Doug.
You got the unique double G spelling on Greg at the end there.
Yeah, but that sucks.
What is that?
Well, it sucks because when you go into like rest areas and stationery stores and you want that little nameplate that has your name, they never had it with the 2 G's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's such a big part of living is you got to have little license plates with your name on them.
Well, when you're when you're 12, I mean, give me.
Okay, well, try being Judith. Okay, try to find that.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's funny too because like even when you don't want one, you still feel left out that your name's not on there.
Right?
Yeah. You want it in the first place.
Guys, that's a running theme. I feel like 4 or 5 guests have brought up the little license plates and the frustration it's brought. And it's so weird at that age. Like, why do you even give a shit about a tiny license plate?
Yeah.
You only care if your name isn't up there, which none of ours are.
But you even like when you go to those stores that have those license plates, it's not like you buy them. It's just like you look for your name and then you walk away.
Yeah.
And it's like you feel invalidated if your name is not on there.
I agree with you 100%. I was always looking for a keychain because, that's what a 10, 11-year-old needs is a keychain for all his keys.
Well, if you're a latchkey child.
You're trying to grow up to be a janitor.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you this, though. So I was supposed to be Frederick Wilfred Hughes the Third.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my
Why
mom.
don't you just put on your SS officer uniform right now?
And my dad's name was Fred. My mom goes, Freddie, we're not naming him Frederick Wilford Hughes the Third.
And then you landed Opie.
How long did it take before the Opie thing happened?
I'm trying to remember. I was like 12 or 13 years old, and I was just a real nerdy kid with glasses in a classroom that I was keeping to myself. And Julie Burson stands up in the classroom and goes, "We need a nickname for you, kid." And they went with Howdy Doody, of course. You got to do that if you have a little kind of red hair. And then they went with Will Robinson from Lost in Space. And then they started with the whole eagle eye and 4 eyes and all that crap because I wore glasses. And then she just pointed at me and went, "From now on, your name is Opie." And it stuck that day.
Yeah. Well, I was Judith. And I was like, and my mother would always be like, Judith. Everyone called, and everyone in my family or people who know me before I'm like 12 all call me Judith. And then I'm like, I can't fucking take this. I need independence. So I said, my name's Judy. And then my mother was so annoyed. She's like, if I wanted to call you Judy, I would have named you Judy. But your name. So people would, like, friends would call the house. We only had one phone. And it was a landline for young kids out there. And this is exactly how my mother would answer phone. She'd say, hello. And they would say, hi, is Judy there? And my mother literally, I'd be upstairs in as loud as possible into the phone. Judith! Phone! Like as loud. And it was, I was like, I can't do this anymore. But yeah, so I changed it to Judy. But now I kind of like Judith.
Yeah, Judith is cool because you don't see a lot of Judiths out there.
Right.
I
should have, and now I'm an author, so it should be Judith Gold.
Speaking of you being an author, and I'm sorry, Doug, because it's your podcast, but I do want to mention that in Judy's book, she talks about you brought back a memory that I got to bring up, where the phone would ring at your house and you would have the mystery of wondering who was calling, and we have lost that in the year 2020.
Yeah, because I talk about Janine Garofalo, because there's a whole chapter on social media and how much it's fucked up comedy.
Yeah.
And I had interviewed Janine Garofalo for the book, and first of all, she has no computer. She has a flip phone.
It's a fact that she has most things she needs to remember tattooed on her body.
That is so funny.
Her tramp stamp is her mother's phone number.
The female memento.
She said she can't take the criticism. She couldn't deal with it. She cannot deal with it. You know, like all the negative shit. She would read it and she couldn't handle it. And then she said, when I pick up the phone, I have no idea who's calling. Like, what does that feel like? She said, well, I feel like when the whole thing ends, when there's like a meteor storm and no one can get connected, it won't affect me because I have my notebooks and my thing, and everyone else's life will be over. So I don't know.
And that meteor storm is the end of 2020 for sure.
Well, please.
I mean,
what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Let's ignore that for now and have some laughs. The world sucks right now. The world sucks right now.
That sounds like something that Gregory Wilfred Hughes would have.
No,
a laugh.
It's Frederick.
Frederick.
Oh, I forgot Frederick.
Yeah. One more thing on the phones. Remember, you would leave your house and it was like you had no connection to anybody, and you had to remember a whole bunch of phone numbers, and you had to get clues from the people that were out there to try to find your friends that might be somewhere else.
What about you would say, like, meet me here at blank?
Yeah.
And that was it. You'd say it once.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. It wasn't like 5,000 times. Okay, I'm leaving now. Okay, here I'm going to be 5. It was like, meet me here. And then you got there, and the person, it was like, plus.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember one time. I went on for, I had auditioned for All American Girl with Margaret Cho. And I went to the network. It was a Thursday, and I went to the network, and I was all packed because I was leaving to go to North Carolina for a gig that night. And the agent said, listen, if you get this, you're not going to North Carolina. So go home and sit by the phone. I had to sit by the fucking phone.
Wow.
And wait for the phone to ring to see if I got the gig, which I did. And then I never went to North Carolina, and then they never booked me at that club again. Anyway, but not bitter at all. But it was like the anticipation, like, and plus walking down the street and just being with your thoughts. And just, there's none of that. There is none of that anymore.
Nothing. No.
I got to jump in here, Judy, with something.
Uh-oh.
It's always dangerous when he says that.
I know.
Uh-oh. One of the hosts of the show wants to talk.
Sorry.
The sitting by the phone thing is crazy. But yeah, this is super great because, like, we've had guests on this show that 2 minutes in, we're done talking about Doug's and we don't have anything else to talk about. And the both of you are just, you're
yeah, we don't shut the fuck up. Well, we're from New York. Wait, Opie, you're not in the city though, are you?
Oh my God, I'm looking at the ocean right now, and I've only been back to New York City 3 times to get bills since March.
I have been there twice since March.
It's scary, right? We live in the same area. Upper West Side is getting nuts.
It's so weird. I'm in Provincetown, and I go to the ocean, I go to the bay, I play tennis every day. It's a whole new world. But
beautiful.
I feel like I just left my life. It's so weird. Like I was thinking today, I'm like, I haven't been back to my apartment. And part of me is like, I don't ever want to go back there again.
Yep.
I mean, but I don't know because it's so fucking weird. It's just weird.
It's not coming back anytime soon because everyone figured out that this new way of life, even if they figure out the coronavirus, that they could work from home. And a lot of those restaurants are not going to open up. And a lot of those places that we know and love are gone for forever, man. I think New York City is going to be a great place for young people because it'll be more affordable. And they're more than willing to be adventurous and go with the whole vibe until it gets itself back together. But being older with 2 young kids, I don't want to go back.
The kids thing, like the people that are just like, it doesn't affect kids. I just feel so bad that people are there. Like we don't even know all of the effects of it yet. Like they're still saying, oh yeah, and it does this and it does that.
Right.
Well, oh my God. My son plays basketball for Tulane, and he got it from his roommate tested positive, and then he came home. He wasn't positive, but he had a quarantine, and he ended up getting it, I guess, because it's an incubation period. His girlfriend got it, and then everyone in my family got it. But they just came out today and said all these athletes who have had COVID or have COVID have that myocardia. That's the heart thing now. So I just literally 10 minutes before was texting with the other mother to get him checked out, because it's like, you don't know. My other son still is like coughing. It's like, you don't fucking know.
It's such a weird thing. But in all of our cases, we're lucky that we can just sit at home for a while. But everything's got to have this quote unquote new normal's got to be figured out.
Yeah, we can't just go back to the old, what we're used to. It's obviously things have changed forever, no matter what. But everyone is looking at this like, well, when are they going to get the vaccine so we could just go back to our lives? Everything changed.
Live, it's not. And the other thing is, you live in New York City, so that when you leave your apartment, you're in New York City.
Right.
But there's no New York City.
Yeah, there's no reason to be there.
Right. And
it's just really sad. And I feel, and then there's the people like, my city's never going to die, And the fact they took over all these really cool hotels on the Upper West Side where Opie and I live and put like homeless meth addicts in there. I mean, what the fuck? I hate de Blasio so much. I can't even tell you.
Same. I'm on the same page with you. And it's, New York City is looked at as a very liberal city until you put homeless people in these really fancy hotels in your neighborhood. And then guess what? You're not as liberal anymore.
Yeah. It's really frustrating. Like the 2 or 3 homeless that have been living with me, because that's in L.A. Garcetti made us all take in people.
Yeah.
So the ones that live with me have been mostly a nuisance. But Jeopardy is coming back on September 14th, and Alex Trebek was always 6 feet away from the contestants. Yeah. And they just moved their podiums a little further apart.
I know, and he's high risk.
The show never needed an audience to begin with, because the audience is just supposed to be quiet, the whole time. Right. So they're back in business.
Hey, Doug, can I ask Judy a geography question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because she's in Provincetown, and I want to know how close you are to where Roy Cohn used to rent a place.
Oh my God, I'm right here.
Really?
Here. We all talk about it. Yes, I'm in Provincetown proper. I'm like right at the tip, and there's this big. David Geffen had just put his boat here for a few weeks ago. Yeah, and it's just so obnoxious because you look out on the bay and there's a big boat, but there's another big boat there. And last night I was like, whose boat is that? And they're like, I don't know, Roy Cohen's. Like everyone makes Roy Cohen jokes here now because of that fucking documentary.
Yeah, that documentary was amazing.
What a motherfucker.
No
huh?
kidding.
What a
absolutely.
Sick fuck.
Absolutely a sick fuck. And then he hid the fact that he was gay all those years, huh?
I know. This self-hating gay and shit is so boring.
I don't know.
It's so boring. It's like, okay, great. Okay, fine. Like, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit.
Rich people should be the first people to be like exactly what they want to be.
Right.
Yes.
Like call me whatever you want, whatever they want to be called. Like it should just be any group they want to fit into, and then they should give most of their money to help the world instead of just sitting there with it doing nothing.
I like that.
Right.
It was very nice. Right?
Provincetown, I got to visit because I went to the Provincetown Film Festival for a few days. And man, I fell in love with that place. I'm so excited that you live there.
Yeah, I bought a house here in 1994. And I'm telling you, all those shitty years where I had no money, where I got divorced, like everything, people were like, oh, if you just sell the house, you'll be fine. I was like, I'm never selling this house. And, the mortgage has been over leveraged for quite some time. But in March, when this whole thing happened, thank God I had this house.
Yeah, no kidding.
I love living here. I mean, yeah, I miss doing my sets. I mean, I'm doing 2 shows a week here, so that's good. The food is great. It's a community. I can go hiking. I can go biking. I can go swimming. I can play tennis. I can go to the gym. And I don't know. It's like living like a normal person. I have space.
Right.
But when you do come wintertime, don't most people that live there get the hell out of there for winter?
A lot of them do, because January and February sucks. And in March, it was like packed. The light reflects off the bay and the ocean. So there's so many, artists here. There's so many writers. They have writer work. It's like an artist colony.
I got a connection to Provincetown, Judy.
How?
I was conceived there.
No way!
I swear to God.
No fucking way!
I swear to God. My parents.
Your parents were on like some sort of gay weekend?
Well,
I know. What were they here for?
Their honeymoon. And I mean, I was born, no joke, 9 months to the day. So I'm a honeymoon baby, and they honeymooned in Provincetown. I was conceived in P-Town.
Oh my God! What do you know where they were staying?
No idea, man. No.
You haven't come across the plaque, Judy, where he was conceived?
When I lived in Boston,
funny.
When I lived in Boston, we took the Provincetown trip every once in a while. It really is a wonderful place.
It's the way the world should be. It's just free to be you and me here.
More of my appearance on Doug Benson's new podcast, Wide World of Doug's. But first, I just want to take a moment and talk about expressvpn.com/Opie. All right, I know a lot of you guys have watched The Office. And if you have, you probably know it's based on a UK series also called The Office. But what if I told you there are 9 other countries with their own version of The Office that you've never seen? Well, you probably didn't know about them because they're not usually available in our country. But you can access content available around the world with no geo restrictions when you use ExpressVPN. See, ExpressVPN lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. You could choose from nearly 100 different countries, giving you access to content that isn't available in your region. Man, ain't that the truth. I use ExpressVPN, by the way, to watch documentaries, and there are documentaries all over the world, so I access them by making believe I'm from another country, and it is nice, real nice. So if you're looking to watch shows or movies or documentaries, ExpressVPN is a must-have, and for less than $7 a month, ExpressVPN lets you access thousands of new shows and movies on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and tons of other streaming services. It's a no-brainer. And it couldn't be easier to use. Just fire up the ExpressVPN app on your computer or TV, select a location, and hit connect. ExpressVPN is also incredibly fast. Interested? This is what you need to do. Get the most out of your streaming services today at expressvpn.com/Opie, O-P-I-E. And if you use my link, you'll get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Again, that's expressvpn.com/Opie, expressvpn.com/Opie to learn more. Now back to Doug Benson's new podcast, Wide World of Doug's.
I got a question for you, Opie.
Yes.
Why, like in a motion picture, like in that movie, Chris Rock's movie Top 5, why are you credited as Greg Hughes and there's no Opie in there at all, not even like you quote?
That's a great question. Actually, I was so excited to be in that movie, and then I'm like blurred out in the background. I mean, I'm barely in that movie. And yeah, they used
so that's what you're saying is they blurred out the word name Opie.
I don't know. Maybe they had to credit my real name to pay me or something. I have no idea. That's
hilarious.
Yeah.
I think like. Because aren't you're like in Grand Theft Auto also?
Yes. Oh, wow. You're looking at my credits. I like this.
But you're also Greg Hughes there, I think. I think just legally, I think you just never go to the trouble of saying, hey, can you call me Opie? You just like go with your legal name.
When I started in radio, my name was Greg Opie Hughes, and a PD said, Greg Hughes is a good radio name, and Opie's a wonderful radio name. Pick one or the other. And I said, all right, I'll just be Opie. And that was it. But, yeah.
I love that he pumped you up with Greg Hughes is a wonderful radio name.
I know.
What the fuck is that?
It's so boring. You're right. There's nothing to it. It's a terrible name. You know that I met the real Opie?
Oh, wow.
Did I ever tell you the story?
You mean Ron Howard?
Ron Howard?
Yeah, man. So, really quickly, Upper West Side, Starbucks on, I want to say, 73rd and Columbus, I think, Judy.
On a
Saturday morning, I would run there when I was living on 71st, and I would get coffee for me and my now wife. And I go there real early on a Saturday morning. I go in. There's 3 people there. Me, Ron Howard, and a fan of my radio show. So I walk in. I swear to God. So I walk in, and I see Ron Howard, and I'm like, I've been waiting my whole life to tell him, I'm the other Opie, right? This is my moment. the fan of the radio show goes, "Holy shit, I can't believe you're in here. Can I get a picture?" And he's freaking out, right? We all had those moments. And I'm like, well, screw that I'm here. You know, the guy I'm named after is right over. And he already left. I'm like, oh my God. So I go home. So I go home, and it was it was the fan that distracted me, and I didn't get my opportunity. But I go home and I tell my wife, and I'm like, he's got to be on the street still. Oh my God, oh my God. So I run back out with a portable camera to get a picture, and he's under the scaffolding. I'll never forget this. And it's raining, and there's no one around. And I walk up to him. I go, Ron, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Opie from the Opie and Anthony Show. He goes, I know who you are. He goes, you're giving the name a run for the for the money. And I'm like, oh my God. And he knew all about my career, and we talked about Howard Stern and this and that. And then he wanted to invite me on to a movie set because he wanted to introduce me to other people in his circle. Long story short, that never happened, but he ended up doing the radio show after that, and he was such a nice, down-to-earth guy.
Oh, my God.
You know, all right, this is going to be the queerest fucking thing I ever say, and I can't even believe I'm telling you this.
Well, at least you're saying it from one of the queerest fucking places.
Yeah, I am. And a queer is saying it. A queer is telling you a queer story. So
queer as it gets.
When I moved to New York in 1984, I don't know, I was keeping a journal, whatever. And I remember one day I was like, I love New York. I was walking. It was such a wonderful day. It was. It's at my place in New York, but it's so queer because, you know, even writing in my journal, I try to be fun. It's like you're just fucking writing in a journal. I have to be like,
right.
You know. And so it was like I was walking in Central Park and I saw Ron Howard. It was like an omen. It was the queerest fucking thing. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I was like, oh, part of my childhood. Blah, 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 vomit, vomit, vomit.
Yeah. Well, we all had those moments living in New York City where you're walking around and all of a sudden you see a huge celebrity.
Right.
Remember when Peter Jennings was fighting that cancer?
Yeah.
So I see him walking in Central Park, and I'm thinking, this is my moment to say hi to Peter Jennings. And he didn't look that great, and he was losing his battle. And the only thing I could think of at the time was to say, good luck, bro.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. You're such an asshole.
But I don't mean to be an asshole. I panicked. I didn't know what to say, and it was obvious that...
You should have ran up to him and said, I'm the other Opie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times that could work, but there you go.
That's so funny.
I saw Ron Howard when I went to a taping of Happy Days.
No, you didn't.
What?
No, come on.
You know, he was
Did
there
you?
on the show. Yeah, I used to, when I was a youngin', I used to go to, like, especially like my high school and stuff would have bus trips up to LA because I grew up in San Diego. So we'd have bus trips up to LA to go see, you know, TV shows being taped.
Wow.
Okay, I have a question for someone who grew up in New Jersey. I just wanted to run away to those houses, but did it ruin it for you going to see it taped? That, like, the whole fantasy that it was real part of it?
No, because I was, you know, I didn't know when I was super young. It was, you know, it wasn't until like high school and beyond that I started going to the TV show tapings. And I feel like I was drawn to them just because I wanted to be a performer and a writer. And I just, you know, I wasn't imagining working in television, but I was, you know, so into it. But it was real eye-opening. I always like to tell Bob Saget whenever I run into him that I saw him do studio audience warm-up at a sitcom taping, and I always thought it was Mork and Mindy, but he always corrects me and says that it was I must have gone to a taping of Bosom Buddies.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did you hate it?
Hate
like
what?
Going to the things, was it too long, or were you like, oh my God, this is so cool?
Oh, it always goes on for too long, but then it strangely prepared me for. I don't think a lot of actors, when they get cast in a small part in Friends, realize that if their scene is in the end of the episode, they're not going to get to it until midnight.
Oh wow!
Right.
So I sat around at Warner Brothers the day I was on Friends. It was like 8 hours of sitting around before, you know, jumping out there and saying 2 lines. It was really really strange. But that show, friends, they used to like do super long tapings, and then when people would get bored or tired or need to go pay their sitter, when they'd leave, they'd have a line outside and replace those people with new bodies.
Wow.
Just have a packed audience that laughs at every goddamn thing they say, no matter what it is.
When you're sitting around waiting for 8 hours to do a couple lines, are you getting in your head at any point?
I mean, it's 2 lines with Jennifer Aniston. I was like losing my mind.
Wow.
I couldn't wait to get it the fuck over with. And they do so many retakes. They retake every scene and keep like kind of tweaking lines, and like so the taping takes forever.
Oh my god!
And I'm in the very almost the last scene of the episode. And it's so funny too. Like driving home, I'd always heard that Matt LeBlanc, Joey, was like really into driving fast and sports cars. And I was driving over Barham to go home from the taping, and suddenly a really loud sports car comes flying up behind me and just zooms right by. But it wasn't too fast. It wasn't so fast I couldn't see it. It was fucking Matt LeBlanc. I've been waiting for him to die in a car accident. He was driving so crazy.
Wow.
And that's what they say about him, is that he's just a crazy driver.
Damn.
Oh God.
Let's go to a quick commercial break. It's super quick on this show. It's like you barely even notice it. But we still need to find out some Dougs that Judy and
Okay.
have encountered in there. You must know some Dougs. So we'll do that right after this. We'll be right back. We're back.
That was a great commercial break. And I peed, I shit, I made coffee.
I love it.
Judy Gold, tell us about the Dougs in your life. How many Dougs?
I thought she said she hated it.
I'm going to tell you my Dougs. Ready?
Yeah.
They're Jews.
Okay.
Doug Nevin is my lawyer. He is gay. He is a lawyer and a theater producer. He is gay. He's really fucking smart. I think he went to Yale. Let me look it up.
Sounds like a great Doug.
He's really fucking smart and nice.
Wow,
okay?
he might be as good as there was a Doug that just came back from space.
Really?
Yeah, your Doug is a very accomplished Doug. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like probably second only to Astro Doug, because your Doug, the lawyer, hasn't gone to space, has he?
No, I don't think he wants to.
See, I think Brian Regan said that it used to have a bit about how when you've been to space, that trumps every story anybody has.
Right, that's true.
Oh my God, yes.
That's true. That is. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's true. Oh, I went to the moon. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, do you want my other Doug, or you want to go to an Opie Doug?
No, I feel like Opie's going to come up blank compared to how much of the.
Well, you're going to be disappointed in my Doug, but let Judy finish.
Okay, ready?
What else have you got, Judy?
Doug Kleinman. Now, Doug Kleinman, I know he did stand up, but he grew up on the Upper West Side, and he works for Ripco. You know, they're like brokers, real estate brokers. Ripco. He's short like the other Doug, which is weird. They're both Jews, they're both short, and they both have dark hair. But Doug Kleinman, he's like, I'm a comic, but I'm also a commercial real estate guy because I can't really give it all into comedy. And then he also, for some fucking reason, every time I go get a pedicure, he's at the fucking pedicure place. Like, I think he's in love with the fucking woman who owns the pedicure place, who's married and has a kid. Okay, so that's it. That's my Doug Kleinman. And I always see him, like, walking around. He's one of these guys. You always see him around the neighborhood. He's really nice. But for some reason, he's always at the fucking pedicure place.
I mean, talk about a great person to have a crush on, somebody that you pay to mess around with your feet.
Yeah. I think they're just friends, but I think he has a little,
Yeah.
Those Jewish men.
It's innocent.
I'm going to say something that'll get me in trouble, but there are a lot of Jewish men who love Asian women.
I thought everybody loved Asian women.
I mean, I love Asian women, but there's a lot who are like, only date Asian women.
I don't see either side of that.
Okay, whatever.
No, I mean, I believe you. I'm just saying, it's strange to me, it just seems like, especially, It just seems like we're, such a melting pot these days. And
yes, that's true.
Even though a lot of people are over it, but there's still plenty of racism to go around. So
my God, there's so much.
It's like surprising how much of it there is. Like I didn't think racism was over because we had a black president, but I certainly didn't know that it was bubbling so much.
I can't fucking, you think about it as a parent, to have to say to your kid, listen, make sure, if a cop stops you, just, I don't even know, like, make sure there's no taillight out, make sure you have your license, I already worry about my kids, but having to wonder every time your kid goes out if they're going to fucking come, it's awful. And it's because we have fucking cameras on our phones.
Yeah, if we didn't have cameras on our phones, we wouldn't have to see these incidents.
Shut up. I'm just saying. Shut up. I'm just saying. It's thank God they're documented now. You know what? I fucking hate both. I hate all of you. I already get hate mail whenever I do any of your shit, and now I'm going to get more hate mail.
My perspective was always different. When I got pulled over by a cop, I was like, what do you want?
Nothing? Yeah, right? As a white person, we get irritated by it.
Yes, I'm not.
Right. Not like, I hope he's not going to kill me.
I was hoping for a laugh, but I was also, there's a little reality to that as well. I was never worried. Never worried.
Right. How can I help you? They get stopped, and it's like, is this my last breath I'm taking? It's not right. And then fat fuck Bill Barr fucking saying, oh, I've never seen anything. Shut the fuck up, you fat piece of shit. Okay. I'm fat shaming. Everyone who I'm fat shaming, write me at judygold.com and tell me that I'm a fat shamer. Okay? Go ahead.
All right. There you go. And read Judy's book, and then you'll understand why all that's okay. Right, Judy?
I mean, you gotta call him something, and you can only assume about like tiny dick or something like that. But he clearly does have a weight problem. So
he's a fat fuck.
I think in his case, Go ahead.
Yeah.
Him, Chris Christie. Right. There's a bunch you can say fat fuck about.
Yeah.
Because they're fucks and they're fat.
Right.
So they're fat fucks.
Yeah. They're clearly living high on the hog while being a fuck.
Right. Fuck them, the motherfuckers.
I got a Doug story.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's get into it.
Well, so when Doug texted me and said, you got to do my podcast, Wide World of Doug's, I got instantly triggered. I don't like the name Doug because my beautiful wife, when she was a child, she was tormented by a Doug. And
what?
She's getting ready for her first communion. She's got her nice little dress on, and they now have the party in the backyard. And this guy named Doug decided that he wanted to get my wife in this box to torture her. So basically,
a magician?
No, just an asshole Doug, just a dick of a person. So. This dog goes to my wife and says, I'm going to see if you can fit in this box. And, she's young and naive and thinking everything's good. So she goes in the box, and then the guy locks her in the box and sits on it and won't let her out. And she's screaming bloody murder inside the box for a while. There you go. Fun story. Fun story for everybody.
Fuck him.
Exactly. Exactly. And she has told this story many, many times, so she's still tormented.
What is he doing now? What is that Doug doing now?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe I could get a note.
Find out.
You should try to track him down. And
yeah. But
with any luck at all, he's fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say put him in a box, but he's too much of a fat fuck. He's not going to fit.
I'm sorry I don't have a fun-loving Doug story for you, Mr. Benson, but that's my Doug story.
We're building up cases. For and against the name Doug on this show.
Well, put me in the against column.
Yeah. Because there are bullies that are named Doug, and I think you get pushed into either being like creative or a bully by having such a boring name.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you either roll with the jokes or they take over and you get enraged and become a bully.
Yeah, because also bullies tend to be some of the funniest kids. Like they,
True.
they usually employ a lot of humor while they're bullying.
Right.
True.
Like that's how I survived school, because I was never particularly athletic, or I didn't run with any kind of tough kids. I just was amusing enough to people that they just sort of, let it slide. I didn't get ridiculed.
Oh, I couldn't.
As much as I would have if I hadn't developed a sense of humor.
Right.
Doug, it does not instill anything in anybody. They just think you're just maybe a gentle Canadian.
It's weird to think of a Doug bully, though, just because, again, the name doesn't instill a lot of fear into people. Watch out for Doug.
That's, like look at Home Alone, the bully in that, his name's Buzz. Like I think people with silly names, Opie not included, people with silly names probably can lean towards being bullies because they're already being victimized every time someone speaks to them.
Right.
Right. People who bully are just, they're always they're always insecure fucking assholes. They really are.
Every time I see a sitcom or any kind of TV show or movie that's dealing with their kid having trouble with a bully at school, there are no good answers.
Right.
It's just
because they're relentless. They're relentless.
Yeah. There's just you just have to fucking get a thick skin, and that's a terrible thing to have to say to somebody.
No, but it's true, and it's like, and now it's like no one can deal with that. So no one can feel uncomfortable. No, it's like, oh, I have to go to a safe space. Shut the fuck up. The world isn't a safe place. Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what all this isolation is doing, I guess, is making it a little harder for bullying, especially of the physical kind.
You know what? It's also good for school shootings.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really been like I can't believe Trump hasn't bragged about the lack of school shootings lately.
I know, right? That should be his platform. I stopped school shootings.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know Judy's not a fan, but he's entertaining as all hell. You got to admit, right?
Okay. For you, he's entertaining.
All right,
he's ruining the world.
I just want to get her going. No, the whole Sarah Sanders taking one for the team thing that came out a couple days ago.
He's just dumb. He's dumb. He's evil. He's classless. He's a fucking liar. He's just disgusting. He's fucking gross. I hate him.
Hey, not to mention, maybe he was just winking to be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
But he might not have been a come on.
Yeah, he tells her to go to North.
He tells her to take one for the team. What the fuck is that?
She has to go to North Korea, and he said that
and get fucked by Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, and that her husband and kids would understand.
Yeah, they'd miss her, but she'd be a hero. Oh my God.
I'm not a fan of Trump. I really am not, but it's entertaining at times. I know he's ruining everything, but God, then it's
what a fun turn, though. That would be such a fun turn if Sarah Sanders moved to Korea. And
right.
That'd be so funny. Those kids would be really attractive.
I feel like that dude probably winks at everybody.
I know.
Not a dude,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
even some dude.
Oh God.
Maybe he probably just had something in his eye. And it was Sarah Sanders.
Yeah, right.
Whoa, hey.
Hey now.
Hey.
Right. Oh God.
All right. Let's talk about what the two of you are up to. People have been hearing from Doug Mellard and I every week on this show, but since you're one-time guests,
well, I guess we're not coming back, Opie.
Yeah.
What you told us. I mean, if you called me up and said, "Hey, guess what? I've got another great story about someone named Doug.
Or maybe
that's true.
You're back in.
If Opie comes across that bully and finds him, that's a good.
No, I knew this was a one and done because I was panicking and I had one Doug story that I'm barely attached to, so I know it's over as far as the Wild World of Doug podcast or whatever it's called.
You barely got through this one episode.
What?
Have you ever had a story? Have you ever had a Doug story about a Doug under like 50 years old?
There's young Dougs. There's young Dougs. And one area where there's a lot of Dougs is professional sports, both white and black.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It is a sport name, like Doug blank blank.
Yeah, I think that if you don't choose to be athletic, then Doug is more of a liability.
Yeah. Coming to the field, Doug blah, blah.
Yeah, who plays for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. And Doug blah, 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 blah.
We got to pull the sound bites of her doing that for promos for the show.
Coming to the stage right now, Doug blah, 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 blah. It's just like, because that last name has to have something, because Doug is so like, bleh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're well aware.
We both have boring last names too, so it's been a uphill climb.
Nobel Prize winner Doug Bashanda Galafalakabada.
What can people look for right now from you, Judy? The book is called,
Yes, I Can Say That. When they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. And it's about free speech from the perspective of a comedian and not taking yourself so fucking seriously, and stop canceling comedians for trying to be fucking funny and shut the fuck up. Okay, so that's my pitch for the book. But Opie can tell you, because it's, coming from someone who read the book, it just means more. But so I've been promoting that, and I have my podcast, Kill Me Now. And the audiobook was in the New York Times book review. I was mentioned in the New York Times book review for New and Noteworthy, so I'm way better than all of you.
Who did you get to do the audiobook?
Judy Gold.
Oh, she was available?
Yes. They were fucking shocked. I know.
Did you know somebody so you could reach out to her?
Yeah. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe you can get her. I know it was. But, I'm happy.
I actually listened to her book, and it truly is well-researched and brilliant.
Oh, you didn't read it? You listened to it?
I listened to it.
A lot of people listen to it. They love it.
Because I was fishing, because that's all I do these days. And then every once in a while I do my podcast, Opie Radio. But
I got a quick question. How could you fish while listening to Judy's book? You must have been laughing so hard you'd scare the fish away.
Brilliant.
Shut up, Doug.
Brilliant. No, I do have a question, though. I was very excited when Judy decided to read her own book. But as a comedian, Judy, was it hard not to just start riffing as you're reading?
Oh, my God, yes.
Okay, because at times I'm like, I know she's holding back right now, and she wants to just go off on a 5-10 minute tangent of new stuff she's thinking about on the spot.
Right, but you can't, and they have a director there. It was all virtual, but, they have a director and a producer, and then you have to go back if you made any mistakes, or you breathed, or something dropped, so it's verbatim, baby.
How many days did it take you?
3 for the first one, and then 1 to go back and make corrections.
My God.
Opie?
Yes?
What other books are you listening to?
You don't want to know. I do a lot of spiritual stuff now. Eckhart Tolle, stuff like that.
But there's the Opie podcast now, correct?
Oh, yes, there is. I have fun with that, actually. And
where do people go to find the Opie podcast?
Oh, I don't know, Doug. No, just put Opie Radio in your podcast app. But
how often do you do it? I see on your Instagram a lot references to it.
Well, now I'm looking at the ocean every day, so I turn on Facebook Live and just fool around, and then some of that material makes it to the podcast, and some doesn't. So when I'm feeling it, man, I'm at the point in my career where I'm not taking anything seriously, and I'm just kind of enjoying myself, and that's about it, really. if you want to check it out, great. If not, that's okay too. Go get Judy's book and listen to Doug's podcast, Wide World of Doug's.
Thank you, Judy, for being here. Thank you, Opie.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, guys.
I could die.
Nailed it.
Doug Mellor, do you have anything pluggable?
I'm performing this weekend in Santa Fe with Ron Howard at an outdoor.
I like that.
No, I'll just say, well, I finally got a date for my album, Fart Safari 3, Fart Hard with a Vengeance, November 20th. So that's
Nice.
a little ways off, but I'm excited. I finally got a date. But just find me on social at Doug Mellard.
All right.
And thanks,
This
guys.
was fun, guys.
Yeah.
I dug it. I dug this.
Nobody said that. Love it.
Yeah. No one's ever said that.
Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review if you're listening to the show. We've only been going for how many weeks do you think we've done so far, Doug?
Is this 10, 11?
10 or 11 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing. You should both be proud that I came to you this early on.
Thank you, Dougie.
Yes, thank you, Doug. I miss you, brother.
Yeah.
We'll
I miss
talk to you
seeing
both.
everyone. All right.
Everybody will talk soon. And as always, Doug.
That's funny.
Oh,
I think
God.
it's really going to catch on. Yeah, that was great. Great job, everybody.
That was fun.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was super. And yeah, I was trying to make a joke about reading your own book on tape because why would you get somebody else to do it?
I know, right?
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, that must be really aggravating to not be able to just throw in because it's like
I know.
it's like basically you're punching up an old bit as you read.
Right.
You made a great point about Bill Cosby and other people that are canceled. You know, when someone fucks up, they have to erase their entire history.
Yeah.
And I love that you made the case that it's two separate things. You know, Bill Cosby is a terrible human being, but his stand-up is still brilliant. And the TV shows he did over the years, you know, there's some quality still left in those things. And we should, as a society, be able to, separate the two.
Right. And they don't. Yeah. They don't separate Dr. Huxtable from fucking rapist piece of shit.
Right. But
that's also it's a mind game, you know, like as much as I can sit there and intellectually say this was funny stuff.
I can't. I don't enjoy it as much, but that's what I said. Yeah. You know, like it's like I can't listen to Michael Jackson's music now without going fucking pedophile. After that documentary, forget it. Oh my
God. Yeah. And then they crucify those kids for being in that document. Well, they're not even kids; they're adults now. I so believe those.
Why would they lie?
Of course.
Why would they lie?
But because they were brave enough to come forward like that, they get all sorts of death threats and hate and everything else. Yeah. And it's like I truly believe that Michael Jackson was a kid toucher. I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's much normal about that guy. I don't know why you can be shocked that he did that.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, he enjoyed having sleepovers where they drank wine.
Oh my
God.
Right.
Like at the very least, and that's like, you know, it's still crazy that
the whole thing is fucking weird. Like, as a parent, I would never. If Michael Jackson was like, "Oh, can Henry sleep over?" I'd be like, "No."
Of course.
Yeah, he'll come over and play with you and the monkey on a Thursday afternoon while I rock.
Oh my God.
I know.
All right, you guys, I got to run, but thank you so much.
Lots of love to everyone.
Thanks, guys.
So fun.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
All right,
Stay
Thank you.
Yep.
All
right. The long goodbye now. All right, bye. Okay. All right. All right, bye now. All right, have a good day. Okay. All right, are we done? Oh, you're still there. All right, stay safe, everyone. Okay. I'm just hanging up. All right. It was nice meeting you, Doug Mellard. And,
hey, nice to meet you, man. Take care.
And I like the podcast. I listened to a few episodes just to, kind of get the vibe of the
really fun
of the what you guys are doing, and very good, man. Keep it up.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Hey, have a good one. Be safe out there. Later, man.
And I think Doug Benson just hung up, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I guess so. We usually stay on and chat for a minute. Just over some podcast stuff, but I guess he's gone.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, cheers, man. Yeah, man. Thank you.
All
Take
right,
care.
bye.
All right.
I didn't leave.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.